This was the game that you're saying you'd have everyone back pretty much, and it seems like a lot of people are in town. What's it like having people in training, I guess, to start with?
Yeah, it's really exciting to add more players, and you know, while we've been working really hard with everyone that's been here, and that's been the focus. It's exciting to get a couple of new faces and great players, great people to join this group. We've kind of got the best of both worlds right now. The players that have been here are playing really well and working really hard, and then we get to transition some of these new players in, new people in, and see some different flavours that they bring. And it's not going to happen in a night or a week. You know, it's going to be a 2 or 3 week transition here while we see everyone get in and get to know their role and how they can help this team.
In terms of at least, I guess, Ellie and Andresinia, could we see them in this Utah game?
Yeah, I hope so. With Ellie, it's more of to make sure the paperwork gets done, and then with Andresinia, she's all good. She'll be, you know, they're both travelling, and we both hope that they can be available. There's now 17, 18 players. We'd all love to play in this game, of course, and that's not possible. So we're optimistic for at least one of the two to get some time, if not both.
Mark, I was going to say, how important is it to have Tobin back in the lineup and back playing again?
Yeah, it's really important on the field, and it's great off the field, because she's really stepped up again. She continues, her and Singh continue to step up on how they support the group and lead the group. And the number one in all the experience I've had in working with players, when players do their job to the highest level, highest standard every day, it's the best type of leadership, and that's what Singh and Tobin do. When your leaders are working, when your leaders are getting the hard work done, and when your leaders are supporting and positively trying to get the best out of other people, it's contagious, and everyone wants to help the group in the same way. So it's been great to have her back, and her and Singh on the field together. Obviously, it's really exciting.
How have you seen her maybe kind of mentally deal with this situation over the last year? Obviously, it was back injury, and then she had to make the decision to get ankle surgery. That's probably tough for any player. What have you seen from her? Yeah,
I think it's a good question for her on how. I mean, from my side, I think she's been very unselfish. She's put the team first, and the answer is I don't know, because she hasn't brought stress. She must have had a lot of stress. She must have a lot of frustration, but she hasn't brought that to the team. She hasn't brought that to training. She hasn't brought that to anything in and around us. But that can't be the case. Right? This has been a really long journey and a hard process. And I've spoken to I haven't gone through it myself. I've spoken to a lot of players over the years that go through a long time on the sideline, and you know, two things come out the other end. They've got this hunger of fire and determination. It always happens that it's just stronger than anything they felt before, and that often leads to them kicking some butt. And two, when you're not on the field, you end up watching even more soccer. I don't know if Tobin could watch more soccer, because she loves it, but they watch a lot, they study a lot, and they find new ways to improve their game, and they're itching to get back out there and show us all. So I'm sure it's been a tough road, but she's been around selfish.
Do you guys feel any pressure now that you're into the season, but being the champions and trying to defend, or not?
Well, a few players were talking about it just after the meeting. There's pressure on this team because they call Portland Thorns, and everyone wants to kick us. Everyone wants to beat us, and there's nothing new going into this. Obviously, this weekend, we've always focused on ourselves and thrived off growth and thrived off trying to improve everything. And we always know in the background that if we take our foot off the gas, then we let that other edge that other teams try to create maybe sneak into the game. We don't focus on it. We focus on always trying to move forward. But it's a reminder. You know, I think that first half we weren't at our best on the energy side and how we competed in the first half Friday night last week. And you know what? We don't see the average of teams. We don't see the worst of teams. We always see the best of teams. And Washington was really good on Friday in the first half. So another reminder: we can't. Championship probably adds a little bit, but it doesn't beat being called Portland Thorns, and everyone wants a piece of us.
Looking at maybe a little bit of a disappointing draw at home to Washington. Now you go on the road. You obviously want to pick up points at Utah. What's going to be the keys against this Utah team that's also very hungry for wins? Yeah, really hungry and very organised. I think managing momentum. There's going to be periods where we don't have momentum. There's going to be periods where we don't have
the game looking just how we want it. How do we manage that? And when we do, we've got to take advantage and we've got to create high percentage chances. And we've been working on that this week and acknowledging. I think the first half against Washington was the first time that we didn't feel like the game was going the way we thought it would out of the first four. It's the first time, and we didn't have the best reaction. We've learned from that. It'd be the same in Utah. It'd be a tough place to go against an organised team, but we know how we can be our best. We also build off the second half. We know that the players that can hurt some of their weak links, and I think if we play to that, we have a chance.